Good morning, everybody. I'm Shauna, and this is Ring of Light Crafts. I didn't send out a mini chat saying I was coming on, but I'm here. If anybody wants to come on and say good morning or good evening, wherever you live. I am working on stage 3 of the prototype for our tree. Now, when we get to the actual tree, I'll show you guys step by step. But right now, it's just kind of a prototype, and I just wanted to give you guys, hi Mel, I just want to give you some ideals of what to keep your eye out for. So when we do this, hopefully by next week, we'll be putting it all together and starting the actual tree. Hi Mel. This is the prototype. So we're on stage 3 right now. No face yet, but we will build the face in most likely. I just thought I'd do stage 3 with you guys and explain to you how I'm doing it. Eventually, we will literally start from the bottom out and show you how to do the whole thing. But just for those that don't know, I started with aluminum foil, and then I made my shape out of it, put it all together, and then I taped it. So this is just plain old masking tape under it. And now we're putting our little body seal on it, if you will. And I got it all over my table, but that's okay because I will use it. So our body seal is Dollar Tree paper towels, as well as Dollar Tree glue or any household glue that you may have, like this one's garbage, Elmo's glue, anything like that. And we just add some water and let's put it together. So good morning, Mel. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. I'm going to lower you so that you can see some of what I've been doing anyways, hopefully. Okay, and good morning to anybody else that may be out there. I can't see. Okay, so let's just start. I have a mixer. I don't know if I can get this under there and show you. Okay, let me bring this up just slightly. Oh, we're doing good, Mel. Thank you. I have a mixture here, Mel, that consists of water and just Elmo glue. Basically, I didn't want it so thick. I would have to constantly use a brush or something to spread it, and it would just be bulky, nasty, and pale. We don't want that. So I just add water until I get almost like this thinner base with it. But you need to make sure you don't thin it out so much that it will not stick. All right, here we go, Mel. Oops. Let me see if I can get this lower. Watch your eyes. Grandpa's being silly. Okay, so I already started the body. And let me just add a little bit of glue here and some here. And all this is, there we go. It was coming undone because I never attached it. We're going to work on the feet and the hands together. All this is, like I said, the glue and water. We're going just wrapping it. Now, the only thing about this, the only thing that I would think be kind of particular once you get to a certain area is, I don't know if you can tell, let me grab one. Here's one that won't drip on the computer. Ridges in this. Now, tree ridge probably isn't going to go all squibbly for the most part. So I'm going to say that's our bulk. And the width of the tree, the way my tree's going, or the way that I want the little stems to look like they're going, is the way I'm going to do that paper towel the long ways to try to have that show. Now, we don't want the paper towels on there perfect. We just want them to stay. I am going to add glue because I think that was just water on that one. That was on my table here. And we're just going to go ahead and start wrapping it. Now, I got that one halfway decent. I don't know if you can see his little foot there. We're going to go ahead and work on this one here. And what I'm going to do for starting, I'm actually going to dip my whole paper towel inside my glue mixture, and we're just going to place it and wrap it. I am making it where the lines go down because this is part of his bulk that is actually curving around his body. So you can see it pretty good. Yay. Thank you.
Can you tell who's on there?
Yeah, Mel's with me.
Okay.
I can't see anybody else. I can't touch your computer.
It said 6 others.
Okay, we have to just scroll down, honey.
Okay.
Because I can't see anything. All right, guys. So we're just going to wrap it. If it starts to peel off, don't worry about it. Just stick your hands in mixture. Add some right on top of it. It's not a big deal. It's just glue and water, and it will come off. Just make sure if you're doing this with your wee one, don't let them drink the mixture. This is kind of like paper mache, but I'm using paper towels instead of newspaper, and I'm using glue and water instead of flour, water, and a tab of salt. And yes, you can do paper mache on this as well. I was just sitting here, and this is what I had handy. I thought, oh, hey, I can just use this. Otherwise, I probably would use paper mache. And I'm not using Mod Podge because there wasn't any really left enough to make this. And what sucks about that is it's so far to go and get Mod Podge. We do have a Dollar Tree, but I only can get the little teeny ones from there. And I need the big, big one. Okay, so we're going to flip him over. Let's take a look at his back. So you guys can see this. His hands should support well enough. On his back, you can see right through here is where one of his little twigs are. But notice I just have it going up and down. What I'm going to do is come back here real fast. We're just going to lay that paper towel on it where the lines are going the same way as his twig is. Well, the simple reason I want that texture when we finally get to the final start of painting it. And that's all it took, just one little paper towel, just circle that in there. Nothing even fancy at all. So I am going to go ahead and raise you guys up a little. Watch. I realize that you can't see his hands. Now his hands, a lot of people just say get the little pieces and stuff like that. And they're pretty much right. Take your little pieces that you have that you would just cut onto your fingers, or you're just going to throw them away and just use them. Why waste? Stick them right inside your glue, get it nice and wet, your towel, and just go right ahead and place it right over the top and wrap your fingers. Now, right now, we're not trying to get our fingers perfect. Of course, we never will get them perfect on him. We just want to get our little fingers wrapped. So the next step, we can actually shape and mold his hands with the next piece of towel. Okay, the next piece will hold this down. So what we do is grab a little piece of paper towel that's already in the mixture, or wet, but mine wasn't, so let's go ahead and do that. And we're just going to wrap his finger like you're putting on a Band-Aid. And now we're going to push, kind of squeeze it together, so we start building our shape. Since it is aluminum foil, you guys, and just paper, you can mold it. Get it to go the shape you want it. Don't worry about it getting squished or anything. And if you don't like it a certain way, adjust it to what you like. And just make it stay down. So now you got your little fingers going now. Now the one thing most people probably wouldn't think about doing is on the inside. Even though we're really not going to do much with the inside yet, we are going to cover it. For the simple reason, we want it to match everything else. And we do want the tissue, that's regular tissue, I don't want that. We do want the paper towel to cover the tape on the inside here. So I'm just going to take a nice big hunk. I'm just going to lay it in there like a blanket and push it into it. And then anything that comes on the outside, just mold it in It doesn't matter. You can add whatever you need to make it go the way you want it to go. But it doesn't have to be so perfect that it looks like you bought it in a store. You want it to look like you bought it. Oh, hi, Robin. How are you? You want it to look like you made it. You want it to be your own personal creation, and don't want to care what anybody else think about it as long as you like it. You're the creator, you're the artist, and if they like it, fantastic. You got extra rewards right there, right? But you got to make it where you're satisfied. So you got to just kind of take your time, do it the way you want it to look. I always try to stay away from this scenario that everything has to be perfect, because I don't think it does. Everything just has to be, makes you happy. And if somebody buys your work, you just got a plus right there. You just got a blessing. So we're just going to add some little extra tissue there to hold that down. And what I'm doing is picking up anything I have on my table. And I'm just going to stick it on the inside and squish it right in and use that Y waste. But just going to take advantage of that. Okay, so now we mostly got his body down. And once I get everything on here, all the glue and paper towels where I want it, I will go back over him real fast with the paintbrush and just add extra glue mixture right onto him. Then you put him in the sun, and whatever God gives you is what you get. Don't change it. That's where you want to work from, because you're not after perfect. After all, this is a tree, and trees are not perfect. They're perfect in our eyes and with my eyes, but they're supposed to be creative, have a little different appeal to them. So what we're going to do is go ahead once again, right back to his fingers. Let's build up this hand. This hand is smaller than the other one. It was by accident, and I thought I liked it. So I'm not going to make it as big as the other one. But what we do have to do is build the fingers up just to make them sturdy. So to do that is go ahead, take your paper towels and your mixture and simply wrap it. Just wrap it. There we go. And just use your whole hand, your whole fingers to mold, putting designs or shape that you want in there. And maybe a little branch up on top here. All right. And we'll just keep doing this. Just wrap that in there. Sometimes you may have to go over it twice. I'm kind of building it pretty thick. So I'm just hoping that our weather will hold up enough to make him dry. Let's see, get this one to wrap. And I'm just going to pull that just a little there. And mold it right in there. There's his little finger. These are not as big as the other one. And if you don't like the shape, you guys, right now is an absolute perfect time to adjust it to the shape you want it to be. Or put your lines of your paper towels the way you want them to be. That will be crucial in the long run. And it doesn't have to be perfectly straight, your paper towels. You want the wrinkles in there because you're going to use that to your advantage. So, if you have a bunch of little push-up places and you don't like it, pat them down and just remember, don't overdo it, because when it gets down to that point, you're going to be taking that totally to your advantage here when you start to paint it. Now his face, I said we were going to build on, and I'm still debating exactly how I want to do that. At this point, we can just go straight with this here, right on the face, and just build it out. You give him a finger there, mold that hand right in there, squeeze it, stick my finger in there. There we go. Separate the two. That is Liz. I'm sure you guys can hear him. He is eating himself again. He's eating at his legs and his paws. He is allergic to grass. that poor dog and give him antibiotic, anti-itching, nothing works. Allergy medicine, poor baby just suffers all summer long. So anyways, we're just going to do a last little finger on this hand here and try to scope it in just enough to get it covered. There we go. And now I'm adding some little ridges. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me turn it this way. I'm adding some little ridges on the top, because once we get to that point, it's going to show design in detail what you're going to want. I'm going to lay him down. I know to pull up some of his making real fast, but I can't see the inside of his paw, his hand. Lower, you guys. Watch your eyes. As you can see right there, at least I hope you can see, he is a little on the mess up side inside there. So all we're going to do is take some more of your mixture and just take a piece of it. Doesn't have to be huge. And just place it right in the center and just mold it. Push it in there. Get these little fingers going better. I don't like how they're not staying the way I want them. So in a case like that, I take a little bit of the paper towel, do it where the ridges are up and down, and just catch it and wrap it. Just little pieces at a time. You can build that up. And at the same time, if you have any problem with some of the little areas that you just don't want too flat, you don't want them too big, you can just wrap it and push it right in there and catch it. And then you can go around once again with a little piece and just catch those ends and wrap it. That way you're catching every bit of his paw and you're just getting right into those fine little details. Okay. This hand don't want to stay separated, so we're going to make it stay separated. And come right over here. I noticed 2 fingers did not get covered on the bottom, so we're just going to do a nice big piece here, fold it, and plant it down. Try to get that stay a little smoother, only because it's the palm of the hand. And now once again, we're going to do the same thing with these 2 fingers as we just did with the first one, so the first 2. We're just going to take a piece of the tissue, wet it, and wrap it. And just wrap it. Not going to worry about it being perfect on the edges, because that will be a later date if you just, I always say perfect, you guys, but you know me, it won't be perfect.
It's okay.
Okay, thank you. And then we're going to go ahead and go right in there. Just catch any big humps or anything you don't like. This is a perfect time to take advantage of all your little tiny pieces. Let's wrap this finger, especially since this hand is so much smaller than the other hand. You just take advantage and get it wrapped. There we go. Make a little point on that finger. And let's finish the tip of this one. Let's go ahead and wet this piece. Once again, it's not Mod Podge. I wish it was. It's just a glue and water base thinned out. Let's go ahead and get this little tiny finger here wrapped. The wrapping is just to secure the tape that's on there, as well as give it the ridges and stuff that we want. Let's stop. Sometimes he gets carried away and he'll just sit there and literally bruise his leg all up. Poor guy. I never knew a dog to have allergies, folks. So anyways, we just get this wrap. We keep getting it wrapped, and then we start to shape it. Don't get it so big that you forget to start shaping it. Once again, take your paper towel to look the way you want it to look, as far as the ridges, if you have ridges, which this one does. I thought I'd take advantage of that. Okay, I'm going to go. I am going to take my brush, the opposite side, and push between these 2 fingers, because they simply want to keep connecting. So we're going to make sure they cannot connect because I don't want them to. And there we go. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit
Tell
right
Alice
here.
good morning.
Oh, good morning, Alice. Welcome. At least it's morning here. Not sure where everybody's from, but it's kind of early morning here, actually. Oh, thank you, Alice. I appreciate that. All right, and there we go. So this little critter, excuse me, critter, our little tree here, the critter's over there, creature. She's getting ready for us to start back on wholesale real soon. I figured out how we're going to do our creature's face, you guys. And I can't wait. I'm just waiting on some of the supplies. Okay, I have a little see-through right here on his face. So what I'm going to do is go ahead, just take some of my tissue, lay it right there on the face and go over it. But I am making sure the lines go this way because right on his face, I think is kind of crucial to try to get that as much as possible due to the fact that he will, that's the part you're going to see the most. So that's the part you're going to put the most detail to is his face. And I'm just going to go ahead and cover Nada. Welcome, Nada. Hello. How are you today? Yeah, and we're just going to tap that in there just a little. Make sure we get, it's not as wet as I thought it was in here. Let's wet it a little more. We need it to be wet to hold that tissue because I put a big blob in there. Okay, and we're just going to add a little piece right there. Now, one thing that you guys probably cannot see, and I will show you in a second, is on the inside of, well, you can see it from the outside too, but you probably haven't seen it yet. So I'm going to go ahead and just fill that in, just so I know it's filled real fast here. All I'm doing is like making my little hole. This little hole, you can turn him into anything. A plant holder, a candy holder, whatever. Put a hand in here, freak the kids out on Halloween. Whatever you want to do. But on the back of him, remember this is just a prototype, but on the back of him, I put a hole in his head. Right here. So when you do put your tissues in there, you want to make sure you don't hide that hole. This hole will hold a light. Okay? It's kind of healing itself, making itself smaller. I'll have to adjust that. But there will be a light placed in here. So when you turn on the light, he will glow from his eyes, nose, mouth, head, or whatever holes you put in his body. And let me just go ahead and straighten this out since I messed it up there. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just have to keep the hole open. You raise you up. I just realized you can't see me. See, I have a light like this, you guys. We're just gonna, this one broke. I don't know what it is about these lights lately. They've been breaking. But the light will just go right in the middle of it, especially on the final project, and it will just make it glow at night. Of course, I was thinking about making a Colton too. I don't say it right. How do you say that word? Like a witches have, and they mix stuff in.
Cauldron.
Cauldron. And I know how to make one of those. Well, also, I was thinking about making it where it glowed as well. So I'm hoping that you guys will be around for that as well, because I think that'd be so bloody awesome. Once again, I'm just waiting for the supplies to come in. Unfortunately, we're kind of a little farther away from some of the stores I like buying some stuff from. So we got to wait. And we'll probably be waiting for at least another week or so. I might just have to run out and get them instead.
Says it's dinner time where she's at 6:35.
Ooh, 6:35 dinner. All right. Well, enjoy your dinner. What's for dinner? I haven't had breakfast. So, okay. God, dinner sounds really good. Maybe I'll have dinner for breakfast. There we go. Okay. So I know his hands aren't perfect, you guys. And I know that the paper towels laying on it is not perfect. The only thing I really want to make sure I do is cover tape. That's kind of crucial because you don't want that showing through when you do your final little catch up here. Let me just kind of tap some there. And just take little tiny pieces if you have to add something somewhere. It's not a big deal. And just kind of get those to line up just a wee bit. Okay, now let's go back to his other hand. I know he's kind of soggy, but we'll put him in the sun. Okay, so on his other hand, as we all notice, is much, much bigger than the one. So I'm just going to go ahead and soak some of these. I'm running out of my mixture. That's all right. We can make more, right? And I'm going to go ahead and rip smaller pieces because I think we're going to this time just start from one finger and bring it down. Whoops, right on the computer. Let me back him up and just bring him right down. Okay, we're going to go between the fingers this time. I didn't do that last time, and I think that's where the problem with them wanting to kind of blend in to each other came from. So we're just going to go ahead and do the inside of fingers first. And let me get right in here. And then we can just kind of pull that down and wrap it around one finger and squeeze it onto the back. There we go. I think you guys can see. I hope so. And then right through here. It doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, you want those lines. But I do want to make sure that I don't connect the two fingers or the 5 fingers. I do want them, definitely want them separated. So we're just taking a little tiny pieces here. We're just going to put right between these fingers the best I can from this angle. Oops, I know it needs to go there. Come on. There we go. And then we're just going to pull it down. Make sure we keep them separated. Just get something in there. Let me turn it this way just a little, you guys. Okay, now I'm going to add a semi-decent sized piece. And I'm just going to put it right over the top of the hand to help hold those little tiny pieces I just put between the fingers. And then we can start molding him. Don't be afraid to squeeze it, you guys. And he's still adjustable at this point. So if you want his arm way up here, you can put his arm way up there. See? I don't know, kind of like that. Actually, I like that. What do you guys think? Up or down the way it was? I don't know. You guys tell me. Okay. So we're going to go ahead. I'll have to raise you guys up. I'm sorry. I rose his hand up. Now I got to raise you guys up. Watch your eyes. There we go. And we're going to go ahead. Let's finish up his little fingers and stuff here. Kind of a bigger piece here, but let's catch that whole finger this time. And just wrap it around, you guys. If it's not absolutely perfect, don't worry about it. Don't let it stress you. And we'll just go ahead and catch the next finger. We may have to go over them twice. That's okay. 3 or 4 times. Doesn't matter. As long as you keep your little fingers separated, you got it made. And if you don't, you just have to cut the slit and make it go back. There we go. There's water somewhere, Grandpa, if you need it. Okay. Pick up some of this stuff off my table. Why waste, right? Can't waste. Okay. And we're going to work between his fingers again. The little pieces. If you can, I know it's kind of hard with the little fingers, but we tend to wrap them. That makes the lines going around. So after you're done wrapping them, if you can, just take one small pieces and just kind of go up so you got your ridges going the right way that the tree will grow. Okay? Right now I'm just kind of putting them on there, but we will work on getting it the right way. And if you don't get them all that way, don't worry, because the tree isn't perfect. Those lines are not straight. They curve, they make all kinds of things. I'm just using that as a reference to how I want his hands, the wood, to look. So take a little piece and just go right over that up. And not worry about it. Use a nail. Hey, Paige have fingernails sometimes. And we'll go ahead and wrap this little finger. I think we are almost done with this. Well, I missed 2 fingers. Okay, so we will get this finger. If you want his fingers pointed, remember he's wet. Totally mold that to come pointed. Okay, it's not too late, even though you're putting stuff on him. It's not too late. Normally I wouldn't toss that, but I need it out of my way. I'll pull it back out and make something out of it. It's a recycling container over there. Let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and get these fingers. I'm just going to wrap them at first, so I at least get that started. Just like with paper mache, you guys, just because it's paper towels and glue and water, it doesn't mean that the same rules don't apply. And it doesn't mean that it does. The only rule that applies is you having fun with what you're doing. And remember those no accidents, just happy little mistakes, I think Bob Ross always put it. I'm getting old. Sometimes I forget how they make their quotes. We've said their quotes for years. So it's funny, grew up with them. I never in a million years saw anybody love squirrels the way that man loves squirrels. Anyways, he used to foster them and take care of them when they got injured or abandoned. Be nice, Anna Marie. Anna don't like being touched. She's such a weird dog. She don't like being touched unless she wants loves. And another animal come up and just slightly with the paw or the tail hit her. Oh my God. She'll tell them all. Okay, this piece here, we're going to go ahead and put it up and do our lines going up so I can catch. Kind of give it a little, it's going to look like its nail was clipped on this one. That's okay. There we go. Kind of a that thumb. It works. Okay, go ahead and...
They're talking about the food.
Cool. That's not, huh?
Yeah.
That's cool. So, oh, you know what? Speaking of food, Nadia, you had a great idea. I know it wasn't meant for this, but if you wanted to, you ever see? I want to say it was a Walt Disney show. Oh gosh, and the trees started throwing Wizard Walls. The trees were throwing apples at
over the rainbow.
At the kids. I don't remember who they threw them at. I'm too old. But anyways, it just reminded me of that. I'm sorry, totally off track here. But if you haven't seen a Wizard of Oz made by Walt Disney, yeah, you oughta check it out. You don't have to watch it, just check it out, see if you like it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and I think we got one finger and then underneath. So let's get to working on this last finger. Since this is not the longest finger, but I just really like the way this finger was shaped for whatever bloody reason. I love the way this finger got shaped. We're going to try to keep it as much as possible to that true detail that's on here. In that case, take little tiny pieces, you guys, and just wrap it. Remember, it's like putting on a Band-Aid or gauze or something around your fingers. Anything like that. We're just going to use teeny pieces here.
Sorry.
No problem.
I gotta go check on the candle in the kitchen, so I'm gonna turn this around so you can see it.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to try to keep this little teeny piece. I am going to use the paper towels going away. I want them. Because by doing that, it's such a... the fingers are so small, and I really like the shape of this one. I'm just going to see if I can just do it all at once. Keep that shape, but cover it at the same time. I just really like this hand. His face is going to be something else. I haven't decided on how to do his face. I know this is just the the prototype. But even though it's a prototype, you still want it to look good because you just may make it your original. Although the prototype, I'm really hoping will be at least 3 foot tall. So, coming up. I'm running out of my mixture. Let me just check that finger. Oh, it's this one. Let me turn him just a little. Now remember, don't worry about the lines being or just not all going the same way you want them. That's something that is just my preference, to try to help with the ideal that, oh, it goes that way, how it sticks. But you don't have to do that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and finish up this little tiny finger. Oh, I got more nail than I thought. We'll just take a little piece. I know you can't really probably see this, but at the tip of the middle finger here, I'm just going to wrap this piece around it to try to hold, come on, and keep some of that original shape. Because, yeah, you add stuff to it, you lose your original shape you had. And that's just the way that goes. You're not as supposed to. You're adding to it. It's going to make it bigger, different design than what you had. And if you really want to keep the design you had, you just have to be more careful, which I am a total klutz. So you just got to take your time and do the best you can. And if it changes it, don't let it bother you. Just go right to the next step. It's okay. All right. Now let's go ahead and do our last pinky finger here. And then we'll do the hand. And then we're just going to set this little guy aside so that he has a chance to dry. I'm hoping by later today we can paint him. I do not want to paint him while he's wet, for the simple reason he is too wet. And then the paint, and right now, so they say we might get rain. That sun's up and hot already, honey. We ain't getting no rain. But it'd be nice if we did. Be nice. I'm proved wrong and get rain. Trust me, we need it desperately here. And add that right to the top of the hand. Make it hold those pieces down I just put.